Okay, so shall we proceed? Oh, over here, we have raised beds. Again, because we couldn't plant in the soil, we planted in these raised beds, and we have heuchera, which is really coral bell. They're done blooming, but they were awfully pretty earlier in the spring. And then in these potted plants, we have what is called a California currant, also known as a ribus, and it's sort of a viney looking plant that'll have a little flower on it in the spring, and it's going to grow and cover this wall even though it's growing in pots. Watering the pots are all hand water, maybe a quart once a week, something like that. The sago palms are not natives, but they're well established and they don't require really almost any water. These trees are called silver sheen, and they kind of provide a nice pretty barrier. They're not natives, but you'll see them all over Calabasas. They're real pretty. Those are sprinkled back there. There is a sprinkler back there.
Oh, that's your property?
Yeah, it's our property for another 5 feet, even with that wrought iron fence.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then this bank was, termite-ridden railroad ties and agapanthus, and we weren't maintaining it at all. So we had this retaining wall put in, and then put in California natives in here. Now the mulch that you'll see all over the yard is called forest floor, and it's not, there's no manure aspect to it. It's just wood chips and that sort of thing. This isn't something you get in Home Depot. This is something that they have to deliver. And we had a mound of this on the driveway that was probably 6 feet tall and covered the whole driveway, and that was used all over the yard. And it does two things. One is it keeps the water in, and as importantly, it keeps the weeds out. And it's just been phenomenally successful in that regard. Very little weeding.
And one thing we found once we put another wonderful feature is once you put the mulch in, you'll notice that there's all this kind of leaf debris in here that we used to have to, the gardeners would blow it out every week. Well, when you look at it with the forest floor mulch, it just blends in and it becomes mulch.
So I don't have to go in there. I should have mentioned one other kind of cool thing about California native gardens is I don't need a gardener anymore. We are it. Because there's no blow and go, there's no lawn, so you just maintain it, keep the weeds down, trim here and there, prune here and there, and so we don't have a gardener anymore. The whole area you see now with California natives was lawn. Where you're standing was where the swing set was, and then we had little soccer nets and all that kind of stuff. So we understand the attractiveness of lawns, but frankly over time it just kind of pooped out. And was taking too much water and too much energy to maintain, fertilizing it and covering it and doing all that kind of stuff. So when we decided to do this, what the landscape architect does is bring in clear plastic and covered this entire yard with clear plastic for about 4 months. And that kills the crabgrass, and so you don't use any pesticides or herbicides. You just kill it with the sun and the plastic. And it really worked significantly. We very rarely get little outcroppings of that crabgrass. It happens, but not very much. So yeah, this was all lawn, and now we have zero lawn. You can see this is called a salvia. All these purple flowers are called salvias. This one's called Winnifred Gilman, and it's in bloom now. A month ago there were no blooms, so this one's going to provide color for a while until the fuchsias get going.
This is a native that planted itself. This is coyote bush.
Coyote bush.
And it's, you can see it throughout the mountains, but it planted itself, and luckily our landscaper, when she was doing the design, said, oh, we got to keep this. And it's grown tremendously actually just since then. And it's green all year.
If you look across the street from the Calabasas High School, you'll see the bank covered with this coyote brush or bush.